Hey, this is Omar from DepressionHero.com, and I'm going to talk to you about depression and the journey through depression. But first, let me talk to you a little bit about where I am. And I'm in Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. And the Dominican Republic is 2/3 of an island called Hispaniola. You may have heard of it from Pirates of the Caribbean. But also the other third of the island is occupied by Haiti, where they had an earthquake recently. So why am I talking to you about depression in Santo Domingo? Well, I'm here, but also there's a reason for it. So when Christopher Columbus discovered America, actually what happened was he discovered the Americas, and Santo Domingo was the first place that he stopped when he discovered the Americas. And that's a statue of him right here behind me. And can you imagine that he set off from Portugal, he kind of went into just the open sea. Had no idea where he was going. There were no maps at that time of what was here. And after a certain period of time, he saw some land and he landed here in Santo Domingo. So you can imagine that here is this guy, Christopher Columbus, or as they call him in Spanish, Cristobal Colón. He sets off with 3 ships and he goes out into the open sea. He has no maps of where he's going. And he's just looking for this treasure. He's looking for India, actually. And he lands over here on December the 5th, 1492. And that is really the so-called discovery of America. He discovered it from the European perspective. So from the Taino, from the locals' perspective, he just landed and changed their lives because he had all this other technology. So why am I talking to you about Christopher Columbus? And what does this have to do with depression? Well, the way I see it has a lot to do with depression, because Christopher Columbus basically set off on a voyage into the unknown. He really didn't know he was going. He thought he knew where he was going, but he didn't really know where he was going. And he did find treasure. He found a lot of treasure. And he did have to go through hardship. And he took a massive risk because he didn't know what kind of weather there was facing him, what kind of enemies there were facing him. And imagine just the fear of the unknown, which is what most people are afraid of. And it's the same thing with depression. Depression, really what we were afraid of is the pain. You know, when I was depressed, it was like I was just so focused on the emotional pain that I could barely focus on anything else. And so it's this fear of going into this pain again. And really, from my perspective, you know, when I was working with therapists and doing self-help stuff and doing all these various exercises, that's what I did. I actually had to go through the pain, which I'd been numbing out, okay? My defense mechanism from my childhood was just to numb out. And so I had to go and start to feel again. And of course, when you feel, you actually can start to feel good things as well, which is really what the journey is for you. Is once you can get out of your depression, you can start to feel elation. You start to feel great. You know, you can actually start to do things with your life that are constructive and creative. And so it's really about going beyond the fear of the unknown, because it really is this fear of the unknown. And as Joseph Campbell says, he's the great mythologist who wrote about the hero's journey, which is this tradition. It's not a traditional story, but it's a mythological story that's really in all of the cultures. And it talks about the hero's journey, how he goes through all these hardships in order to find the treasure. Okay? And in fact, one of his sayings that I love is, "The cave that you fear to enter holds the treasure that you seek." The cave that you fear to enter holds the treasure that you seek. And the cave is the unknown, it's the darkness, it's that emotional unknown inside of you that really holds a treasure. And once you can access it and go beyond your fear and start to shed some light on those areas that you may have never have shed some light on before, once you start to see what's in there, you find all kinds of treasure in there. And that's the whole journey for me through depression. And that's what I'm going to share with you. I'm going to share with you exactly everything I've learned and what I've done, so that you can also use the same techniques to get out of your depression, okay? Without depending on taking a pill every day for the rest of your life, which doesn't solve the root cause of your depression, okay? So that's what we're going to do. And there's really 3 steps that when I've gone back and thought about everything that I've learned over these years, there's really been 3 steps. And the 3 steps are desire, discover, and do. You've got to have that desire. You've got to have that initial determination and desire to make a decision to go through and break through your depression. Then you've got to discover all the different areas of yourself that I'm going to change hands here because my hands are getting tired and I'm here alone. So desire and then discover. You're going to discover what's in that cave. And the way you discover it is through various techniques that I'm going to show you. And then you actually do. You've got to actually do something. You can't just learn and, okay, that's nice, you read about something and that's nice. No, you actually have to do something to release that energy from your being, from your mind, from your emotions, from your body. Okay, so there's really 3 steps. And the reason I'm talking to you today about this in front of the statue of Christopher Columbus is because, you know, Christopher Columbus was this explorer. He explored new worlds, okay? And that's what we're going to do. We're going to explore new worlds, but internal worlds. Worlds from your mind and your emotion, and how those things are stored in your body. So go to DepressionHero.com and I'll see you there. Remember, Christopher Columbus discovered whole new worlds and he's become a hero. And you have the opportunity now to discover your inner worlds and become the hero of your life. So I'll see you at the site and I'll see you inside. Take care.